Hey folks, it's Ty Brown with DogBehaviorOnline.com, and we got a question in from a reader, and it was such a typical question that it's the type of question that we get very often, so I thought I'd just make a quick video to cover exactly what I feel the solution is. And I thought, such a nice day here in Utah, come out on the balcony, so you got the mountains to the east over there, and nice beautiful October day. Thought I'd enjoy the outdoors and make you guys a quick video. So what the question is these are puppy questions. This is from a reader of the website that has a Cane Corso puppy, and the first question they say is, she's not coming when called. So I find the biggest reason that dogs, puppies, adults, whatever, don't come when called is simply they were never trained to come when called. You know, people very often, they just simply, they tell the dog to come over and over and over, and I guess expect that one day the dog's going to do it. It doesn't happen that way. You know, dogs don't learn by being told, they learn by being shown. And so the question I always ask people when they say my dog's not coming when called is, what have you done to show your dog to come when called? And if the answer is, well, nothing, or if the answer is, we use treats a handful of times, that's the same as nothing. You know, you need a plan, you need a protocol for how to actually teach this. And so whenever I'm raising a puppy, that puppy is never off leash. Indoors, outdoors, it is never off leash. Because another thing that I'm quite fond of saying is, you're not going to have an off-leash trained dog until you have an on-leash trained dog. And so, like I say, a lot of people are expecting their dog off-leash to come when called, but they've never even taught it on the leash. And so you can't run before you walk. And in this case, you can't run before you've even learned to crawl, you know, one tiny little foot. And so so like I say, you know, when you're outside with your puppy, the puppy should be on a 20-foot leash, a 30-foot leash, and as you call the dog and the dog doesn't come, just a quick little, quick little pop on the leash, nothing big, just enough to kind of communicate what you want. And you need to do that for a good long time. You know, there are shortcuts. You know, with we've got programs with our clients here in Utah and with our clients abroad. We sell DVD programs on advanced e-collar training, so that we can get to an off-leash recall, in weeks. But if you're not using the e-collar and you're going the other route, it's going to be months before you ever take that dog off of the leash. So, like I say, that's why, oftentimes we'll get people say, oh, we just want the basics. We want our dog to come when called every time. There's nothing basic about that. Have you ever seen, well, I shouldn't say ever, of course there are, but most dogs that I meet, 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, do not come when called properly. Maybe they come, but not with distractions. Maybe they come, but not when the doorbell rings. Maybe they just pure don't come. And so this isn't just, some dogs. Very few dogs come when called like they should. And so if you want that, there's nothing basic about it. You're going to have to do training that is far more than basic. And so, like I say, that requires months on a leash. That requires putting in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of repetitions before you ever even think about going off leash. So bear that in mind. Like I say, there are shortcuts that make it easier on you and the dog, and I'll put some links down below the video on where you can look at those. But like I say, for now, that dog should not be off of a leash, period, because she hasn't earned the right. She doesn't know what she's supposed to do off of the leash, and so she'll earn that right later, but not in the very beginning. The second question is, she always needs to potty more than usual, poop and pee, no medical issues, and she will pee in the house even if she had just gone out and went. And so this is a tough question because you mentioned she goes more than normal. What's normal? Every dog is different. Every dog has different metabolism, different needs. And not only that, every dog is going to be on a different food. And so food is greatly going to factor in when we're talking about how often a dog goes to the bathroom. Again, most dogs that I meet are on a really lousy, crappy food. Their vet recommended it, the pet store recommended it, but it's just garbage. And so it's full of fillers, and the dog is going to be pooping all day long on something like that. And so the first thing you need to do is make sure your dog's on a quality food. Do your research online. Most vets aren't going to give you some good information. They're working off of some incorrect information. So do your research online. I'll put a link down below the video for some food that we like that comes shipped anywhere in the United States. We're distributors for it, full disclosure, but it's a great food. And so anyways, you got to make sure your dog's on a good food. But secondly, that dog, again, I talked about this being outside. Inside should not be off of a leash. If a dog's going to the bathroom in the house, she has not earned the right to wander the house. And so you need to keep her on a leash. so that she can't sneak away. So that the only way she could pee in the house is if she does it in front of you. Now, of course, if she does it in front of you, you'll give a correction. Just, as she's doing it, just with the leash, little no, 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 and you rush her outside so that she realizes, okay, I'm not allowed to do that. And what that leads to is her understanding where it's appropriate to go to the bathroom and where it's not. And you can get to the point where you don't need a leash indoors. But right now, you need a leash indoors because she's proven that to you. And again, we talk a lot about that in our puppy program and our puppy DVDs. But in any case, for right now, she should not be off of a leash until she proves that she's capable of doing that. And you mentioned there are no medical issues, but if a dog is drinking a lot and peeing like a lot, that could be diabetes. Diabetes is on the rise, often due to the lousy, crappy food that most people give their dogs. And so I'm not saying she has diabetes, but I don't know if you checked for that when you did your medical testing. And then the third question is, how much should she weigh, and how much should I be feeding her per day? There is no answer for this, again, because every dog is so different. You can take two 20-pound dogs, two 20-pound puppies. One of them might need 4 cups of food a day. One of them might need 2.5 cups of food a day. And so it's completely dependent on each individual dog, their metabolism, their activity level, your activity level. I mean, it's dependent on so many different factors. I don't even look at the bag. When you're looking at dog food, I don't even look at the bag. What I feed is what looks right for the dog right now, and then we watch the dog's weight. If they're getting too heavy, meaning I can feel a lot of fat on their ribs, then we lower the food. If they're too light, meaning I'm seeing the ribs, then we up the food. And so, like I said, we want to make sure that we're feeding appropriate for the dog, and making sure that she's growing up the right way. And so the only way to know that is she's going to tell you based on how she looks. And so you want to be very aware. It's with these puppies, it's easy to see that within a matter of a couple of days, we're seeing the ribs. We up the food just a little bit. A few days later, those ribs are gone. And so puppies are going to fluctuate a lot up and down in the very beginning. And so, yeah, just be careful. But there's a chance, like you mentioned, she's going to the bathroom way too much. Well, if she's on a crappy food, that could be part of it. But if you're overfeeding her, that could obviously be a part of it too. So you're going to want to watch out for that. So, in any case, good luck, good training. Time to get to work with your pup, and talk to you later.